What's up guys, Ethan here with SouthernStylez Tinting in Wilmington, North Carolina. Wanted to make this video just to go over some information about ceramic coating and PPF. That way, if you're looking at protecting your vehicle and you've looked online and you're like, I don't know the difference between PPF and ceramic coating, well, hopefully I can give you some pros and some cons, as well as PPF removal, which is what we did on this Tacoma for our client, and some information about us. So real briefly, they both have pros, they both have cons. Ceramic coating's awesome, PPF is awesome, but there are things you need to know about it. Now, I'm gonna briefly go over this one real quick because this was PPF removal. So what we did on this one is if you're in southeastern North Carolina, or southeastern United States, realistically, because Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, they're all kind of under the same canopy of Toyota, of southeastern Toyota. They will put a 5-year PPF on your full hood. A lot of times your mirrors, your door cups, your door edge guards, they will put that on there. The problem is a lot of times they don't give you the information on the product. So the issue there is it's a 5-year product. So this is a 2022, I believe he bought it mid to end of 2021. So he was at 4 years. So he hadn't hit the 5-year lifespan yet, but he was obviously a year away from that. And sometimes clients just don't know. So what ends up happening is on his, he had dirt get built up on the edges of the PPF and some mold had started getting under it and on the edges. Like I said, it's just an inferior product. The edge issue is they do not wrap any edges at all. So a lot of times it'll be an 1/8 inch, a 1/4 inch away from the edge. Well, if you don't maintain it and you don't take care of it, that can end up showing dirt buildup and stuff like that, and mold. So he wanted it off. Now, so yes, he had to pay to have us remove it. So you can say, well, it's negative because he had to remove it. Well, let's look at the positive. The positive here is a 4-year-old truck that he drives a lot, and his hood looks brand new now. So it's brand new. So there's no rock chips, there's no scratches, there's no swirls, there's none of that. So his hood looks just like he bought it 4 years ago. That's awesome for him. So that's the purpose of PPF, to protect against rock chips, scratches, swirls. Like I said, Toyota's specifically is a 5-year product. So just like anything else, once it gets to its lifespan or starts coming up on that lifespan, it needs to be taken off or replaced, right? Now, the product we use, 8mm thick piece of film, is SunTech Ultra. Now this still has the backing on it. That's why obviously you see it as white, because if I showed it to you as clear, well, you're not really gonna see it. So 8mm thick piece of film, SunTech Ultra. It's a 10-year warranty against yellowing, lifting, pilling, cracking, all that stuff. So 10 years as long as you own the vehicle. What PPF is going to do? It's going to protect against rock chips, scratches, and swirls, as I mentioned earlier. Now, the swirl side of that, the nice thing is if you're washing it or whatever the case may be, and you get some swirls on it from improper washing techniques and stuff, what you're gonna end up doing is it's sitting in the sun. Some of those swirls, or a lot of those swirls, those micro swirls, are going to actually self-heal. So your film will basically fix itself. Now, what that does not mean is if rock hits it and it damages the film, or somebody goes and keys your vehicle and they key the film, no, that type of damage is not gonna, fix itself. PPF is also not bulletproof. PPF is designed to take the impact of the rocks and all that stuff. And I don't know where you're at as the viewer, but here in Wilmington, North Carolina, there's a lot of road construction going on. Wilmington, Hempstead, Carolina Beach, Leland, all that stuff, that's local, but there's a lot of road construction. So rocks, asphalt, gravel, sand, all that stuff. We don't really deal with snow or salt too much, even though earlier this year it did snow, so we did have some of that. But you have all that just blasting your vehicle. And so PPF is designed to take the impact of that. So over time, depending on how much impact is taken, even though it's a 10-year warranty product, over time, your PPF will show some aging, obviously. It's gonna show some impacts, and depending on what hit it, this is also a myth that's out there. People think nothing can get through PPF. Well, it's 8mm thick. It is a thick piece of film. However, it doesn't mean it can stop everything. If you have a rock and it's, a jagged rock or whatever the case may be, and it's hitting your vehicle at 60, 70, 75 miles an hour highway speed, it could get through. It could penetrate the PPF. The positive there is when we have seen it penetrate the PPF, it has greatly reduced the damage to the paint or the panel underneath. And we've also seen PPF where it takes a lot of hits, and it takes a lot of hits, and you take it off, and your paint's perfectly fine underneath it. So that is the purpose. It is a sacrificial layer. It is not meant to be on there for 20 years or 25 years or whatever. It is not meant to stop every single thing that hits it. So pros, it's gonna stop a lot. Cons, it's not gonna stop everything. So if you're looking at PPF, have realistic expectations. Realize that while we aim to wrap all of our edges that we can, that's gonna hold long term, we will not wrap an edge it's not gonna hold long term, but we will get it right to the edge of that panel. And we have a lot of blogs on our website, SouthernStylez with very up close shots of corners, angles, edges, things like that, show you various seams or leaf cuts, edge wraps, stuff like that. So go visit that, SouthernStylez Styles has a Z on the end, so it's spelled a little differently, but I'll also link it in the description below, but go check out our blogs. So PPF is a great investment. It is more expensive than ceramic coating, so let's get to that. So we are a fine lab dealer. This is just something that we had left over, so I have it for demonstration purposes. So what is ceramic coating? Ceramic coating is, in the layman's terms, an extremely advanced wax, right? Everybody knows what wax is, right? And so it should not be compared, or it should not be looked at as wax, because it's totally different, but that's the easiest, lamest way I can explain it to you on what it is. So it's a 9H or a 10H, depending on which coating you're gonna use. That's gonna help with your paint from oxidizing. It's going to help your paint from getting some swirls to a degree. It is because you are layering a hard coating on top of your paint, so it's gonna help with some swirls to a very small degree. I never sell it, we will never sell it as the same as PPF, because it's just simply not. It will make it easier to clean. It will give you glossier finish, more depth to your paint, and it will keep your vehicle cleaner longer. Now, both of these products, ceramic coating or PPF, and you can combine them as well, just because you get one or both of these products does not mean you can just neglect your vehicle and never take care of it. You still have to take care of it. However, both of these products will keep your vehicle looking better long term, and it will make it, when you do clean it and you do wash it, or if you have somebody wash it, take care of it for you, it will make it easier to do so. And so realistically, which one is right for you? Well, if you really care about keeping the finish of your paint, the finish of your vehicle truly protected from all the road hazards that are on the road every day you drive, I'm always going to suggest PPF. That's your best option, even as a standalone product. And I say standalone product because you do have, like we have Fine Lab V3 PPF, which is a PPF specific coating that's designed to go on PPF. And then you have Fine Lab various paint coatings that are designed to go on paint. And then we have glass, wheel, trim coatings, all that stuff. So, I'm not going to get into all those, but we have coatings for different substrates. PPF is your best option for protection. However, like I said, it's on the more expensive side depending on what package you go with and what all you decide to protect. Ceramic coating is your better option if you don't necessarily care about rock chips and scratches and things like that. And I say don't care because not everybody is overly concerned about rock chips and keeping the paint absolutely as perfect as they can. So ceramic is a awesome contender. It should be looked into, but ceramic coating is for the person that says, I want gloss, I want it easier to clean, I don't want to have to clean it as often. Like I said earlier, you still need to maintain your vehicle, but that's really what the purpose of of ceramic coating is to make it easier to clean, make you have to wash it less frequently, and to give you more gloss, more depth to your paint. Now, another myth about ceramic coating is everybody thinks, or a lot of people out there think, you just put a ceramic coating on and your gloss is going to be insane. It's going to be super shiny vehicle and all that stuff. And while ceramic coating does add gloss and it does add depth to it, the reality is a lot of that gloss and depth come from paint correction. which is, either a single stage or a two-stage correction, depending on what issues your paint has on your vehicle. That's where you get a lot of that from, and then the ceramic coating is going to help lock that in, for lack of better terms. Now, in a lot of newer vehicles, you don't necessarily need to do a ceramic coating. We always suggest with our clients, bring it by, let us look at it, let us go over it with you, because everybody has a different idea, a different opinion on what they want out of their vehicle. And so the best option to choose what's really right for you as far as paint correction and coating goes is to bring it in, make an appointment, bring it in, let us look at it with you, let us go over it, let us give you some of our opinions, and then you choose from there. As far as PPF is concerned, PPF, a lot of people do the front end. Now, what we consider a front end, because every shop is going to vary, what we consider a front end is a full hood, full fenders, full bumper, and mirrors. It does not include like any trim, any black trim, or anything like that. That's additional if you want to do it. That's our most popular package. Another one that we do is the same thing, but we call it a front end plus. It's going to do everything I just mentioned, so your hood, your fenders, your bumper, your mirrors, but it also adds on your headlights because they get sandblasted, and it also adds on your A-pillars, which is this piece, to the top of your windshield. So really you have all that forward-facing paint that is protected and taken care of. And then we do full vehicles, obviously, and then we do a mix of things. People want to add on maybe some rocker panels or something on the back bumper, like in the trunk ledge for, putting stuff in there so you don't scratch that up, door cups, door edges. So we can mix and match. We can do whatever you want to do realistically on protecting it. And then a lot of people will layer them, or layer, I say combine them, PPF and ceramic coating. So that's the gist of it. If you're looking at protecting your vehicle, hopefully this video gave you something to consider, a little more information on that side of things. One thing I also wanted to add, with us being a certified Fine Lab installer, most of the Fine Lab coatings, not all of them, but most of them do carry a warranty, and they are registered on your Carfax. So we offer a 1, a 3, and a 5-year coating for the paint. Now the PPF specific coating, Fine Lab V3 PPF, is a 3-year coating. It's not as hard of a coating. Real quick, I'll get into this. The PPF specific coating, I'm a firm believer on using specific coatings for specific substrates and not using a paint coating on PPF. It's not that you can't use a paint coating on PPF, because you can. A lot of them are safe technically for PPF, but the reality of it is your PPF has self-healing properties. So those swirls and things I talked about previously, if you put a hard coating on top of that, while it's safe and you can do it, you're going to negate some of that self-healing in the PPF. So we always suggest a PPF specific coating. Fine Lab V3 PPF is not as hard of a coating because it doesn't need to protect your paint, because you have the PPF protecting your paint, and then you're just using a coating on top of that to help with weathering and various things like that and help protect the PPF. It's a softer coating, it's not as hard, so it's not going to negate the self-healing properties, so you truly get the best of everything for the most part, excuse me. So a lot of those are warranted and they're registered on Carfax. Not all of them, but some of them are. Obviously, when you inquire about your project, we will go over everything with you in great detail to make sure you're getting what you wanted. Now, another thing that you also see is, this is about us a little bit more, is car wash mat. You see the vehicles inside. Obviously, we do our work inside, obviously, at our shop, but you see this car wash mat. So the reason why I want to bring it up is, whether you're getting a coating or whether you're getting PPF or whatever the case may be, well, while we are not a detail shop per se, we do not do car washes for anybody. You can't just come to us and just get a car wash or get a detail. We are not that shop, right? But a part of PPF and coating is we have to prep the car, and we go into great detail on prepping your car, cleaning it, getting it ready for coating or PPF or both, whatever the case may be. So something we've implemented in 2025 is we got this car wash mat, and as you can see, it does great. It holds all the water in here, so we can prep your vehicle inside. Now that does a couple of things. Obviously, it makes it a lot more comfortable for us, but what it does for you is your paint is nice and cool. We can let certain chemicals dwell on it without worrying about, being in the sun and chemicals drying, like iron remover or bug remover or all-purpose cleaner, all these products that are used to get your vehicle truly as clean as we can possibly get it. And so we can actually let the chemicals that we use dwell and do their job. And what that does is, like bugs, right? We'll just use bugs for an example. With bugs, a lot of times they're difficult to get off. So we have a specific bug cleaner that we use. Well, if you're outside in the sun and you're prepping the vehicle outside, a lot of times you can't let these chemicals sit in the direct sun. They're gonna bake, they're actually gonna cause issues with your paint. So doing it on nice, cool paint indoors, there's no sun, it's HVAC controlled. So in the winter we have heat, in the summer we have AC, whatever the case may be, we can truly let the chemical dwell and not have to worry about it drying on your paint and causing an issue, causing more of an issue, than realistically it should, because it shouldn't cause any issue. But a lot of people will spray these chemicals outside in the sun, and you can damage your paint. You can try to damage headlights, trim, glass, all that stuff, right? So it's positive to you because we can truly get your vehicle as clean as possible. You don't have to worry about any damage occurring to anything. And then we can really spend a lot of time. We're not outside freezing in the winter. We're not outside sweating in the summer. So we can truly spend time on prepping your vehicle. Now, most of the time, most of the vehicles that we do, depending on everything that we do, you're probably gonna have about, I'd say anywhere from, depending on how dirty the vehicle is, you're gonna have about 2 to 3 hours of just prepping the vehicle. And that means washing it, iron remover, bug remover, clay bar. We go into, especially with PPF and all that stuff, we go into all your crevices with a detail brush to get all that dirt and grime out, because the last thing we want, the last thing you want, is for us to go put PPF on, and then because PPF is applied wet, so it's obviously different than ceramic coating. Last thing you want is we go apply it and we're spraying water and some dirt runs out from behind the trim, right? So we really spend time to clean all those edges and nooks and crannies and all that stuff and get it all out. And on that point also, we have a air cannon. So what we do when we're all done with everything, everything's washed, it's clayed, everything's cleaned up, we dry the vehicle, and then we go into every single crack and crevice and all that. Even when we do ceramic coating doesn't necessarily matter. You're not applying it wet, so you're not gonna have dirt run out from here, dirt run out from your mirrors. We've all washed cars and you get done and you got water running down. Well, with PPF, that's a problem if you have water running into the film or behind the film as you're installing it. But with ceramic coating, you still don't want raw water dripping onto the brand new coating or onto the applicator or the towel that we're removing it with, leveling it with. And so this is our process no matter what we do. We go in all your cracks, crevices, grill, all that stuff with that air cannon. We're gonna blow all that dirt and grime and nastiness out, so that way we don't have to deal with it. It's not a headache on our end. You get a super clean vehicle, obviously, a super clean install, whether it's PPF or ceramic coating, and you get a vehicle that's returned back to you looking absolutely awesome, and a lot of times better than what it did when it came in. So just real quick, that's about like car wash mat. It's just something that we implement. Prep your vehicle inside. What that also allows is we don't have to worry about if it's raining. We don't have to worry about, in the rare event in Wilmington, if it's snowing. We don't have to worry about if it's super windy outside, or if it's 115 degrees, or if it's 15 degrees. We don't have to worry about any of that. We can prep your vehicle the same way every single time, all year long, and give you an absolutely awesome installation. So I know the video is kind of long, but hopefully this gives you some information on PPF, on coating, PPF removal, kind of our processes on things. If you are looking to protect your vehicle and you have more questions, or you want to schedule something, you want to stop by, SouthernStylez Tinting, 7217 Ogden Business Ln, Suite 117 in Wilmington, North Carolina. Phone number is 910-742-0579. Website, SouthernStylezTinting.com. Like I said, Styles has a Z at the end instead of an S, just like our YouTube name, so you will see it there. I'll also link in the description, I will link our website, I will link our recent projects, blog, and I will link those things in there, so that way if you guys want to click on them, and our contact forms, that way if you have questions or you want to talk or you want to schedule something, it's all right there. We can get you a quote. And then also real quick, I want to ask if you like this video, if it helped you decide, or you just want to follow along, give us a like on the video, subscribe, and follow us. Share it if you can. Hopefully it helped. Again, I appreciate you hanging around for the full video. If you did hang around for the full video, what I am going to do, we're do 10% off of any product or any installation, whether it's ceramic coating or whether it's PPF. Now, to get that, you have specifically mentioned in this video, so you will get 10% off. We're just gonna keep this going as long as possible, this sale going, so there's technically no limitation to the length of it right now. You know, now that's obviously subject to change, but just as a thank you, if you did get to this point in the video, that means you watched it, that means you care about your vehicle. So what we are gonna do, 10% off PPF or coating, or a combination of both. Shoot us a contact in the contact form in the description, or give us a call or a text, 910-742-0579, and let's get your vehicle protected.